And with the removal of subsidy on petrol, it consequently has resulted in the increase of prices of virtually everything, including food and transportation. The average Nigerian's disposable income is squeezed at this time, and there's been a lot of talk about, palliative. But the question is, how do we ensure the vulnerable actually get these palliatives? Let's talk to Charles OkaforMbah, co-founder and CEO and Convexity, joining me via Zoom. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, hi, Laddie.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. And definitely, Nigerians are going through a lot right now, having to pay so much for fuel. That's raised the cost of, everything from, food and transportation. And we've heard about palliatives. And the narrative is that, the vulnerable hardly get, these palliatives to cushion the effect of rising costs. Tell me how the government can, distribute palliatives in a transparent way.
Okay, thank you, Laddie. So there has always been issues with palliative distribution in the country. Even giving aid to the needy or to the vulnerable that's always been an issue. Just before I go there, there is even this publication that said, it's a UK publication, that it's better you burn your aid money than give it to Nigeria. Wow. And that is a big blow to us as a country, because it seems we cannot be trusted to do what is right. So there are different means or model which the government can actually distribute palliative. And that can be, number one, we know of the National Social Register that has actually been done, although there are contentions on how correct it is or how true the records are. So what the government can do is ensuring transparency. That's the key thing that they need to work on, ensuring transparency. Now, the transparency is the palliative itself, or whatever that needs to be distributed itself, gets to the beneficiaries. And one way that can actually be done is using technology. And I won't want to go deep into just blockchain as a means for that to happen, but generally technology can be used to facilitate that. And one of the ways technology can be used to facilitate that will be what we call a proof of personhood. Right. So those that are actually being onboarded to such a program, you need to prove that these people are actually real and then they are unique. So you can have unique identity system, maybe using the iris, or you can have them integrated into the national identity system, or any other means that can actually be used to prove that, yes, these people that are being given these palliatives are real humans, and then they are not doubled in the register. They are not like you have one person being registered twice or 10 times and all that. And that's one. Then another thing is ensuring that the palliatives that are meant for a location gets to that location. So it can be built in such a way that you have a palliative system that can't function outside that location itself. It could be geofenced in such a way that the beneficiary can go to a vendor with a token. It can be a paper voucher, it can be an SMS token, or even with a wallet system that they are used to, or maybe those that are tech literate can go with their mobile phone and has a wallet in it. And that wallet contains what we call a token system. Now, that token is where the blockchain comes in actually, because it gives that transparency. Now, that token can be taken to the vendor that is meant to serve that beneficiary or that locality. So until the vendor doesn't get the money, right, directly, the government, because what we are seeing, or what we've seen even from the COVID palliative, is the vendors are gotten, they give them the fund, they say go and distribute, and then you hear stories of it ending up in birthday parties and all this stuff, doesn't get to those that it is meant to get to. So the vendor can be contracted that, okay, you have bags of rice. Now, these bags of rice, or you are a chef or a caterer, you cook. So now, until you serve these people that are meant to get this palliative, you get paid. Now, the money has already been transferred to the beneficiaries, but in the form of token or in the form of a voucher. Now, until they go to the vendor to present the voucher, and the vendor confirms that, okay, this voucher is authentic and all that, and then provides what the vendor is meant to provide to the beneficiary, then they can collect the voucher in return. And
right, Charles.
Convert it to
Charles. All of this sounds great, you know, and it does, you know, show a lot of, you know, transparency. But let's look at costs now. How much would this kind of technology cost the government?
Well, it's relative, right? We've actually built something like this. We call it CHATS, right? That's Convexity Humanitarian Aid Transfer Solution. And even the UNICEF is currently behind the project itself. We want to ensure that transparency. The cost cannot, it's not that big. It's something that can be done if the will is there by the government. If they want to build something like that, then they can go ahead and build it. I don't want to be specific on the cost, right? Because it's relative. But for us, we've actually spent a lot putting this together. Actually, we started this with the NGOs in mind, right? Because we know there are lots of issues when it comes to distributing aid from donors to the beneficiary. So we had the NGOs in mind, but this can actually be used by anybody, can be used by the government. So you have a way of showing the donors, right, that what has been given or the funds that is meant to go to the beneficiary gets there. Because what we are currently having in the whole space is just opaque, right? It is covered, it is shrouded. You don't really know how much has been given and if it really got to the beneficiary. So that's why we doubt when they say they distributed 200 million or 300 million and all. So, okay, who are these people? But we have a system whereby you can easily know, okay, these are the locations and the data is showing you. We might not really have, we don't really need to have their PI, that's their personal information, or those that these things were given, their personal details and all that. But we can have a way of identifying the unique humanness that this person that, or this location, or this number of persons around this location gets what they are meant to get. And
okay, but Charles, we know artificial, you know, intelligence is the rave, you know, right now. Is that playing into this technology in any way?
Yes, it can. It can. So there's what we call proof of personhood, right? And that proof of personhood is you need to prove that this person is actually human. So one thing we even did, we actually added that it's machine learning. You need to it's like a system, a camera system, right? And that system identifies that this person is a human due to based on maybe their facial expression, right? So let me just give an example. So in order for us to be sure that this person that is being onboarded into a program is human, we say, okay, the person should we need to blink his eyes, or we need to smile, or we need to do his head this and this way, just to prove that this person is human. And then we can take it a step further by going for their biometrics, could be their iris, could be their fingerprints and all that. So there are different forms of ensuring that this person that is coming to this program is unique. That's number one, which is critical. It's unique that the person is not registered twice, and also that this person is a real human. Okay, so you don't have somebody entering data into such platform and then using that to cash out from the system.
Exactly.
So that's one of using AI in such a
and I guess that way we don't have maybe a goat, you know, trying to be a beneficiary of, you know, some of these palliatives.
Exactly. Or having one person being registered twice. And getting such a palliative.
Exactly. All right. We hope the vulnerable, you know, are reached at this time, and definitely we hoping the middle class also gets something, you know, going forward. Thank you so much. It was great having you, Charles OkaforMbah, co-founder Convexity. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome.